Hello everyone, my name is Micah and I'm here with a sort of chit-chatty journal update video. I want to talk about how these journals have been working for me, maybe show you a couple pages. I must say that in the last couple of weeks I've had very little time to journal simply because my husband and I, we moved or put all of our belongings into storage and are now visiting my family in Germany because I got a new baby niece and she's so adorable. So we're getting to share some time with her and my family. So anyway, journaling has been a little here and there, but still there's been some things happening with my journal lineup that I want to share with you in case that's inspiring to you, or if you just need someone to hang out with you while you journal. I always love to hear about how people are using their journals and what changes in their lineups and all that kind of stuff. I just find that very inspiring and nerdy and awesome. So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. First up, I want to talk about my 5-year journal that has definitely been such a joy. I was really, worry is maybe a strong word, but you know, if you're not necessarily a daily journaler, which I am not, then the fact that you are now committing to write something every day might be a little scary. I'm just gonna flip through this really briefly here because it's not necessarily something that I wanna share too much of. But yeah, this has been great. Every morning I open this up and write that brief little paragraph about my days, just very sort of standout moments or just a sequence of events of the day. And I find that very rewarding and very easy to keep up with, actually. I'm not sure if that's gonna stay that way for the next 5 years, but for this year, this has been really great. And I'm so glad because, again, so much has already been happening for me this year that having this through line of these little daily entries is really great because I'm not doing as much in my other journals, in my creative journals. So yeah, very, very fun. And just, yeah, I'm glad I have this. It actually makes me think that maybe I'm gonna try a dated journal next year to sort of expand on a couple of things that I've written about. Because I do also notice while thinking through my day and, okay, what do I want to put in that little sliver of space that, you know, I think I might be able to do it. I mean, I'll see how this year goes and then decide then. But so I've been doing that, and then going through those little snippets, I actually also notice what I want to pull out and make bigger spreads about. And that's where these two journals come in. So this is a Hobonichi notebook with the grid inside, the A6. And I think I decorated this cover in a journal with me video. And I think I talked about how I set intentions for it, which I think I'm still following on these intentions. It might have expanded just a little bit. And there was a time where I wasn't really working in this notebook very much. So I started it sometime in September. And then this is September, and then this is October, and then I only recently picked it back up. Yeah, so this is February. So there's a couple months where I didn't really work in this very much, but recently I've really been enjoying the A6 again and just being really free and playful with it. I even made a page about it, allow yourself to play. I'd started to get really precious about some of my journal pages in the journal that I'm going to talk about next. And so I realized that, you know what, A6 is just my comfort zone, and that's where I can let loose and play, and I don't know, there's just something about the size that makes it feel less intimidating, and I can just really enjoy the process. And yeah, I've been making it real colorful again and happy, and it feels very me. And I think that's one of the best ways to feel about a journal, is if it feels like you, and if it represents sort of your mind space, if one can say that. And so this is the newest member of my journal family. I don't think I've ever shown this or talked about this in a video. This is just a cute little cat from Cat Collage Club, which I am the designer of. If you want to know more, I'll have that link down below. I just taped that down with some washi because it looked so bare, and I haven't gotten around to decorating the cover yet, so I figured we can at least put a little kitty on there. Makes it already more joyful. But this journal is primarily dedicated to memory keeping, and that is an area that I am exploring more, because in most of my little smaller journals, though there is some memory keeping aspects to it, it's often more about my thoughts and sort of revelations or quotes that I come across or that I want to reflect upon. So it's more it's memory keeping, but it's about thoughts. Does that make sense? I do also put photos in there and more like happenings, but really it's more internal. And so I wanted to explore for myself what it looks like to keep a more straight up memory journal. And so at the beginning of the year, I tried this, where I just did these illustrations about the first week. Was it the first week? Yeah, I think so. Just illustrating it. And then, I just did a page about a song that is really important to me. And then while I was visiting my family, I was really missing our family cat, Mr. Kitten, so I dedicated a spread to him. And this is the first time I've been using an A5 journal. And at first I was a little concerned maybe that I would feel like it's too much space, because I just really love the cozy A6 so much. But yeah, I've been enjoying having a little bit more white space and having a little bit more space to play around or place bigger elements. And then this actually was a Journal With Me video that I shared. And then these are just works in progress. Like I said, lots of things going on right now, but I'm keeping at it. And yeah, and again, so I guess this is where I started to get a little too, because it's new and it's the beginning of the book, and I was starting to be a little bit too precious about this. And so that's when I all of a sudden started just playing on the side in this journal and realized, oh yeah, this is really fun and enjoyable. So yeah, these are going great. And I've actually noticed that with this journaling and this every day in my 5-year, I am picking up my other journals more, I think. If I didn't have this and felt like, oh, but I do want to keep up with this, I don't even think there would be anything else going on right now. Do you find that if you have one journal that you consistently go in, that keeps the momentum going, and you also journal in your undated journals more? Let me know. I'd be really curious. And then lastly, I want to touch on my Hobonichi weeks really quickly. I know that these are planners, but I have found that if I get the itch to just play with my stationery and put some little collages together, this is really great. I've been really enjoying that. And then sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less, but it's at least something where you can be creative and do something for yourself, or at least I see it that way. So yeah, it's been fun, even though this is just more planner things rather than journaling. I also don't know if I don't think I had this when I did my journal lineup for 2023 video. I bought this when I was in New York in person at Yaseka, and or maybe I did. I'm not sure. Now I'm all confused. Anyway, I bought this Hobonichi Weeks as a journal, as a maker's journal. I had set myself the goal of creating a cat comic this year, sort of a story of 3 cat characters having some adventures, and I was gonna keep, or I did in the first couple weeks, I did keep track of what I was working on every day, because I thought it would, 1, keep me accountable, because you have to fill in the space, you gotta have something to say and show for yourself. And 2, I thought it would be really great once the book is done to have this log of how it came to be and how, you know, character traits have changed, or maybe the story took a different turn, all those kinds of things, like the behind the scenes, you would have a whole log of it. And I still think that that's such a great idea. However, in the last couple of weeks, I've noticed that maybe this year is not the year for me to write and draw a comic. And there has been a whole bunch of weeks where I just didn't have anything to write in. And so now, this week, I've started to try and keep it as a gratitude journal. So every day, just writing something I'm grateful for, or just a little moment that I want to remember, and because it's a precious little thing, something like that. And so I'm going to try that out. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use this big space on the right side. Maybe I'll put in a photo or a little drawing of something that was very memorable about one of these days. Let me know if you're using the Hobonichi Weeks for something other than planning. Maybe you're keeping, like me, a gratitude journal or a fitness log, or yeah, just share some ideas. I might try a couple of different things and just use this weeks as my try stuff out weeks. So yeah, I'm really curious about that. But then this will also be something that I do daily, and I'm very excited about trying to come up with a way to, every morning when I sit down, sort of start in my 5-year and then reflect on the gratitude, and then whatever needs to be expanded onto a bigger journal, move on to that. I think that might be a really cool routine to do journaling in the morning. But yeah, I hope you found this somewhat inspiring, or at the very least I was able to join you for some crafting. Yeah, just share your thoughts down below. I love to talk about how people use their journals and just be all excited about journaling and stationery. So yeah, let's chat in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy journaling!